Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
Let's cut you off. Sorry, Brenda. I'm Yoseline, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, this is episode 32, and we have a whole lot in store for you guys. We are going to get into the whole Vanderpump reunion part 3, and this is the final part. We're going to tell you what we thought about that bombshell reveal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How you dealing with that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like our tone already can kind of describe to you what we thought of it. Yeah, and then we're going to get into Elliot Page's new memoir that has a lot of interesting revelations. That
very much a lot of
I've
revelations.
been kind of shocked by some of those things. And then we will also get into our typical Taylor Swift spiel because
it's like a weekly
breakup. Yeah, it's like a weekly update at this point. You already know she broke up with Maddie, and she's talking about her Speak Now album,
which is one of my favorites. So I'm excited about that. So much fun. And couple alerts, you know, we're gonna look at alert new couples breaking up, couples working on marriages. We'll dive into that a little bit.
It's going to be really fun. And then, of course, we have our typical headlines, which we'll go over with you. But first and foremost, let's get into a little bit of Yoseline, a little bit of Brenda. Yos, how have you been doing this week?
Starts crying. It's just been a long week at work.
Yeah.
You know... work. I don't know. So it's been work. I've just been catching up on TV. I feel like I'm barely on the cuff of like catching up from my vacation.
Okay. Like in work vibes.
In work vibes and getting into the rhythm of it. I struggled last week. I feel like
it really is like you dip back into like this pool that's never ending.
Yeah, so it's been a lot, but we're just trying to get through it. Aside from that, I don't think I've done anything too exciting over the weekend. It's hot in South Texas, so I had my first pool visit, and aside from that,
you went to the pool already?
I went to the pool.
I haven't done the pool yet.
I just dipped my feet. I hate the pool, guys. I'm not a summer girl, so I was just there because of the environment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I like a good party, I like a good hangout, but I don't like the sun or the summer or the heat.
You haven't stepped outside, have you? It's
today,
like 100 degrees outside. It's disgusting.
The first day of several days to come that we are officially in the triple digits here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long summer.
I literally hate like triple digits.
There was a huge storm last night. And let me just tell you that I didn't hear any of it.
Really?
I didn't hear any of it.
I heard it, and then I opened my blind so I could watch it as I went to sleep. It was really like a light show.
That is so romantic.
It was a light show. It was crazy.
What? I didn't hear anything. That is so concerning.
It's because I feel like it wasn't in your area as much. Maybe because it was apparently 10% of the area, which I learned from a TikTok means... It's like, you know, when they say 10%, that means it's 10% of an area, not a chance that's 10%, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that, but I feel like the meteorologist here, it was like, that's not true. But I don't remember.
And then somebody else said it was, so I just don't even know.
It's just weather and rain, and I don't understand it. I just know that I slept through it, and...
Well, you did do something this weekend. We had our work karaoke night.
Oh, yeah, we did. I forgot. Okay, so Friday night, we had our work karaoke thing. I was still on the clock. So when I took my break, I went to stop by because it's a food truck area. We went to that. And then after work, I went back. I didn't sing because I'm not a singer. I know, Brenda, you grabbed the mic.
I did a duet with Mindy. We did Hotel California.
I heard great reviews.
Oh, really?
Like, it came out in a natural conversation, and someone's like...
Oh, wow, that's so
Someone said it was a good performance between you two.
Nice. Well, I'm glad we entertained.
I think we're going to do something this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's like in honor of Pride Month. There are a whole lot of events here in Laredo with the local organizations. And so there is a drag loteria night.
Yes.
Friday, right?
Saturday.
No, Saturday. Sorry, Saturday. Yes.
Saturday. I'm so, like, who doesn't love loteria and who doesn't love, you know, being entertained by drag queens? Yeah,
exactly. I'm going to go during my break because this weekend I do work the weekend shift. Yeah. We lost a weekend anchor, so now we're all going to kind of take turns working the weekend again. But I'm going to have Monday and Tuesday off, and Carlos are off Carlos are off. Carlos is off those days, so I'm gonna go see Little Mermaid on Monday.
Yes, finally.
I'm really excited. But I did see Spider-Verse this weekend.
I heard that's amazing.
It was so good. I would say equal to the first one, in my opinion.
The first one was really good.
The first one was really good. I feel like the soundtrack was better in the first one than the second one, but it was just as good. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there were more bops in the first soundtrack. I feel you
on that one. But yeah, so this weekend we're just gonna go hang out with some drag queens, play some loteria, and I think that's it. I do want to have I feel like I haven't had a day where, you know, that my thing from the beginning of the year where it said I want to be able to clean my apartment during the weekday. Oh, yeah. So I enjoy just relaxing.
You would do it Thursday nights, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I kind of went Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, I put some clothes to wash. Okay. Last night I picked up, so I would just have to vacuum. Little things where I just want to be able to be a sloth on the weekend, but in a clean apartment. So I'm working towards that.
I cleaned this past weekend the whole place, so it feels amazing right now. I love clean. It's the best high you can get is when you just cleaned your home and you just get to enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed that experience. Now you guys know what gets me going.
That's it. That's all Brenda needs, a clean counter.
I just need a clean home. But yeah. Nothing much in my life. I already kind of told you guys what I did. But let's get into the headlines and what people and celebrities have been doing this week.
We don't have a lot of headlines.
No, actually.
But, they're still good. And I do want to start off with, earlier this week, a 29-year-old comedian, Pete Davidson, left PETA's senior VP of investigation a heated voicemail after they criticized him for buying a Cavapoo puppy at a pet shop instead of adopting from a shelter. I think you mentioned it last week that him and his girlfriend bought a puppy together, and we were kind of oh, wow, okay.
They were cute.
PETA came out kind of shaming him a little for...
you should adopt, not shop.
Mm-hmm. That voicemail so
unhinged. It was so funny and unhinged, but I kind of saw this whole ET thing on it where he was explaining that he's super allergic to dogs, and so that's why they got a specific hypoallergenic dog, which is the dog that you just named. Cavapoo. Yeah, I've never heard of
Cavalier
that kind of dog.
And a poodle maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. But that at the time that PETA was talking about it, they had just lost their dog of 2 years, so he was kind of going through it.
Yeah,
felt kind of shamed.
So that was kind of... So his family dog had passed away, and he was getting this new dog, which I believe the last dog was also a cockapoo.
It was the same,
because specifically he is allergic, so he needs a specific kind of dog to help him out with that. So PETA came out just commenting on these paparazzi pictures of them buying the dog, and his voicemail just so unhinged. He goes in on them saying you're just trying to create this new
headlines and news stories.
And you know what? I stand with Pete.
Oh yeah, so unwarranted. Everybody gets dogs every day.
I'm all for adopting and saving those people. But you just don't know people's story and the reasoning behind events, and that's why you should always take at face value when you see images, and there's always a reason or a story behind it.
But he just told us his, so
just check out the voicemail if you haven't.
Yeah,
really.
And then PETA apologized, but in a kind of condescending way, being well, you have a platform, so people see what you do, but we apologize for it's can you just say you're sorry without being condescending?
Never. Okay, so another headline, we have Jenna Ortega saying that there will be no love interest in Wednesday season 2. She is now slated to be a producer for the show, and they are leaning towards the horror side of the Addams family.
That's good.
So we learned this during the Variety
the actors on actors. Yeah,
she is with Elle Fanning, and I think it was
those were good selections that they had for their actors on actors.
I saw another clip during that interview that she actually tells Elle Fanning that she's the reason why she got into acting, because she thought that her and Dakota were they're kind of the same age. So she's like, I saw you guys my same age, like doing like serious work and all this stuff.
Like good roles.
Yeah. And Elle Fanning's like, oh my God, I'm going to tell Dakota. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. So I hopefully they become BFFs.
Sorry, could you hear me like drinking my water? No.
Hopefully they become BFFs, but those actors on actors, I've been tempted to watch some. I think I want to watch theirs completely.
Yeah, I haven't seen really a whole lot of theirs.
Who was another good one?
So they have obviously Ellen Pompeo and Katherine Heigl, who were coworkers on Grey's Anatomy. That's been an interesting. I've been seeing little clips here and there, and Katherine Heigl kind of addresses the time where she was considered like a difficult woman in the industry because it was when she got nominated for an Emmy for Grey's, and she was like, oh, I don't deserve this. And people were like, how dare you like act this way? And
I think she said, I don't just, because she kind of like said, I don't deserve this because the writing for my character wasn't that, I don't think she said that great, but she said, I think other characters had better arcs.
Yeah.
And people just bashed her.
Absolutely.
Like, she's so ungrateful, yada, yada, yada. But I also
her comments about Knocked Up and how she felt like it was, I don't remember what it was exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was along the lines of anti-feminist or something like that. And people were bashing her over that as well.
Really?
Or like it was just like sexist or something like that.
I would want to watch it. I want to see like how they address the elephant in the room, because I'm very curious to see Ellen Pompeo's point of view of like, she's the star of the show and this girl is going through and everything that happened. I know that they were so young when it happened. Like Ellen also talks about when she got that really big pay raise. Like she kind of was like, she cornered, and I hate to say cornered, because I think at the end of the day, the company is gaining so much money from the show, and she's the lead. Like, she deserves a fair share.
Absolutely.
So it was a big jump from her previous contract, and she like asked for like millions of dollars. And she says that her, I don't know, manager, agent basically said like, I'm willing to fight for you. Like, we're gonna do this. However, you will not be liked. Like, are you prepared to not be liked? And then she goes into, like, I think Ellen Pompeo is so, like, she's very wise, very well-spoken. And a lot of her interviews, like, always go kind of viral. I don't know if you ever saw the time it was kind of an actor's thing. And she they asked him about diversity and how she, like, you know, and how, because it was a diverse panel of actresses, you know, like Gabrielle Union was in, it was just a lot of diversity on the panel. But then she called out whoever was hosting the panel, saying, just as you put diversity in front of the camera, I want to see diversity behind the camera, because I see little to no people of color, men, women, you know, women to men ratio. And I'm like, everyone's like, like Damn. Literally silence. So I think she's very wise and always goes viral somehow. There was another one that I wanted to see.
I want to see a lot of them just because they did really have good ones, like Jennifer Coolidge and Jeremy Allen White. They have what's his name? Oh, is it? Who is?
You're not boring me, I swear. It's just
no.
It's been a long week.
To forget. They had just really, really good actors, and then the pairings were really good. So I just want to look at all of those interviews.
I'm excited. Okay, the next headline. I don't have a lot to say about this because I really couldn't find anything. A source is just saying that Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are doing so much better. And, you know, there was those iffy couple of weeks where you didn't see her with...
I think something did happen. I think there was some sort of, like... infidelity that kind of set them off track, and they realize that they're twin flames and they're just gonna stick it out.
No, we saw I can't with you. We see her with like a broken wrist, and then a couple of days later it's like reports that he cheated on her, and then she unfollows people on social media except for 3 hot guys, which it's like Timothée Chalamet, 2 other people.
It's like such lashing out behavior.
Yeah, like, yes, absolutely. And then she just goes off social media. And I think she was pictured without her engagement ring, which we were talking about.
Which I would be concerned over, because that shit was like pinned into her fingers.
And then they kind of went MIA for a while, and now they're like they're
in
doing
Hawaii
better
forever.
They're doing better with that. The source is saying, which I believe so, because recently Pete Davidson, he's going to be in the Transformer franchise, and he was asked like, oh, did he tell Megan? Because he's like your best friends. And he's like, yeah, they're both very happy for me. So that kind of like insinuated that they're probably together.
Loaded.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm excited for this one. Hocus Pocus 3 is in development. Well, according to a recently published New York Times profile of Sean Bailey, who is the president of Walt Disney Studios Motion Picture Production, Hocus Pocus 3 is in development. He says it on there.
I literally forgot what happened at the end of the second one.
It left it very open.
Yeah, those young ones were gonna be, I guess, the future witches. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
They left it like for it to be developed because they finally went like
they already killed them.
Like they found
Sorry.
Spoiler alert. They find their inner peace and they are able to, their ghost or whatever, their curse is lifted.
It'd be cute to see if they were ghosts. Or like if they're
no, I think in the concept. I think my point is like, I mean, to allow the franchise to continue without the three mains, because like these ladies are in the older side and you just never know what could happen. So it was just the perfect ending to their story, but allow Hocus Pocus to continue.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I know it was a little cheesy, the second one.
It was. I think I saw it with my mom.
It was a very much Disney Channel original movie vibes. But I'll take a third one. I love anything.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it. And then The Idol premiered this past weekend. I saw it just so you didn't have to, and you don't have to watch it. It's basically a Sam Levinson production where it's very sexualized, and it's definitely from the male gaze, even though it's a show about a female pop star. Doesn't that make sense? And yeah.
I don't know. I just find it, I don't know if it's interesting, funny, like scary, or a good sign that a lot of it's being criticized, but a lot of the actors in it come out swinging so hard to defend the concept of the show.
Well, like, what's her name? Lily Rose Depp wrote this whole post about how she's so happy this project's out, that she's loved every second of it. She loves the cast, she loves the crew. Actually, Jennie from Blackpink comes out in it. I didn't know that. She was really good. I don't know if she spoke a lot, but she brings it. And you're like, dang, like you are a pop star.
Yeah.
And
it's so the only reason I know she's in it because I saw behind the scenes clip, and in it was the day that they do like some dance.
Oh yeah.
And she said that everyone had like 2 weeks to rehearse, and she learned it right before. And I'm like, you're a pop star. And
she killed it. And of course there was The Weeknd, Abel, being a creepy dude. In the show. Okay. Yeah, being a creepy ass dude in that show. So I don't know. I'll maybe keep watching it. If I don't like it, I probably will just
I don't
stop.
think I'll. I have so
it
much
actually
stuff.
got from critics 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, but audience was 60%. We all know who makes up that audience.
Yeah, let's know.
And I think that's it.
Well, I have 2 more. 3 more. Okay, well, 2 more. Britney Spears. Wait. Remember, we were talking about it. Britney Spears, we heard about her last week, that she is, in good communication with her mother. Well, unfortunately, she posted on Instagram a very sappy, sad post because she has given permission, has allowed that her kids move to Hawaii with their father, Kevin Federline. So her kids are, I'm pretty sure they're like 14 to 16.
Yeah, they're in their teens.
And they grew up and were raised with Kevin Federline, who, by the way, is from my same hometown. Not proud of that, but it's fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what he says. I just remember when they first started dating, there was always rumors that Britney Spears was in town. Cause
I wonder if it was... You know how towns, like, they have, like, who lived in that town? Do they have Kevin Federline listed there?
No, we are big claim to fame is this Tony Award winner. She's, like, the best one. And, like, I feel so bad that I'm not, like,
she
remembering.
Young, older?
No, she's older. She's, like, the Broadway star. Like,
okay.
And there's like auditoriums named after her.
It's so random that
if you're a Broadway person right now, I'm a theater person, but I'm really bad with names.
Oh, I'm not a Broadway person.
If you're a Broadway person, you're gonna be like, how did you not remember her name? And it's not like Kristen Chenoweth. It's this lady. And of course, our work Wi-Fi is.
Oh no, isn't it working?
It's always.
Where are my texts? You know when you just want somebody to text you because you need...
Oh, Audra McDonald.
Okay. I do not know who that is. Audra McDonald.
You'll be like, oh, she's like in everything. She was in like James Corden karaoke with the Broadway edition.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's cool.
She's from Free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll take her a million times over a lot of people, but especially Kevin Federline.
The backup dancer.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully this doesn't affect her a lot that she's so far from her kids. But you know, again, Britney Spears keeps us updated on Instagram.
Weren't together a lot anyways.
Yeah. But I guess there's always that idea that they're like just right around the corner if something were to happen. And okay, and the last rapid headline. Olivia Rodrigo shot to fame 2 years ago with the release of her debut album, Sour. Hits like Driver's License, Deja Vu, and Good For You. However, in recent months, she's been quiet until now. Well, Olivia took to Instagram recently to share a seemingly innocent mirror selfie. However, on closer inspection, it looks like it could be a nod to a release date for her second album dubbed OR2. And we talked about it last time that there was also a date on the Driver's License, and it's expected and then the countdown on her Instagram after that selfie was posted. So we are getting new music from Olivia and
at the end of June. So we'll see how that matches up with Taylor Swift's releases. And really quickly, I just checked our chat thing. More set photos from It Ends With Us. It's not getting better. Not a surprise.
It's that stupid,
it's not getting
brown
better.
Dress.
Emma Stone is set to come out in a new movie that is where she basically plays a female Frankenstein. Looks very artsy. It's going to have William Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo. And then Superman Legacy is in the middle of casting. Some rumors are Nicholas Hoult as Superman and the girl from Bridgerton. We just learned her last name, but I can't say it again.
Like you started reading it, I'm reading it, I'm like...
Denaver or something like that.
Danaver. No?
Dinavore. Phoebe Dinavore. It's still so weird to me, but yes, those are the quick headlines, folks. And now let's get into our topics. Yo, Celine, what's the first one?
Okay, let's talk about the couples that are happening right now. Let's talk about Miss Natalie Portman and the drama surrounding her marriage. Well, Natalie Portman and her ballet dancer, ballet dancer hubby Benjamin Millepied, I don't even know, it's French, are battling to save their marriage after she discovered that he had an affair with a 25-year-old woman, sources tell Page 6.
And she's like a climate activist.
Yeah.
So random. And that she's really good friends with that super young activist that everybody knows.
Oh, Greta?
That she's super good friends with Greta or something.
Oh, that kind of makes, activists stick together.
I had heard that they, like, Natalie and that guy got together and he was in a relationship at the time.
You lose him how you get him.
Yeah, that's kind of how that saying goes. And it's kind of been true to form for the most part. But I was really surprised to see that headline when I saw it. Because, I mean, I thought they were super in love with each other. But, I mean, over time, things
fizzle out.
But at the same time,
what is it with men and just wanting to date younger women?
I don't know.
What is
I've
the
never
rush?
seen a man cheat on another woman with an older woman. Or that I don't feel like that happens very frequently.
No.
But there was a lot of photos of her leaving. Like there's in like an office. I don't know.
Like paparazzi. I mean,
they would always leave or they would go and come and she was leaving and
that's
coming.
Another thing. Like, how do you have these paparazzi shots? Because no one knows who he is. No one knows who she is.
Exactly.
Like, this is something that you set up because you knew something. Like, the whole, like, remember the GMA anchors?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this was a setup. They were set up. I mean, how long has it been happening? And Natalie probably already knew and accepted him, and we're like, we're gonna work on our marriage.
So I saw this. Was it a People article?
She was recently at somewhere.
She went to the Beyonce concert, and he was there, and he gave her like a red rose. But I think that's as they're trying to work things out.
Yeah, I think this is like, we found out about the affair now, but I think she found out a long time ago.
Apparently, an insider says Natalie calls the whole situation. Who knows who this person is, but she calls it a brief and stupid liaison that meant nothing to him.
Okay,
that's what Natalie is like calling it, and
whatever makes you sleep at night.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on how that goes.
Are you the kind of person that believes that you can move past infidelity?
No, because it's gonna always be in the back of your head. You're gonna use it against somebody all the time.
I think it's because we're Tauruses.
Oh, true.
Because I think someone like, maybe a very forgiving person could do it, because you have to. I used to be like, no, it's always going to be in the back of your head. But now I think about it, I'm like, maybe there are people that can forgive and not bring it up. You have to commit to, we're not bringing it up.
I think
and regain your trust and everything.
It's the trust thing that's hard. Like, once you break someone's trust, like,
it's like,
that's impossible to get.
That would be absolutely a nightmare for me, because I know in my head I will never fully trust you again. Like, I will be questioning who you're texting, who you're calling, why are you late, why are you early,
have this
why
doubt.
are you being nice.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's because that's her personality, or that's just every human should?
I think that she was probably humiliated by the whole thing. He was like, oh, it's never going to happen again. And I don't think that she wants to continue looking for anything else. So she's probably like, yeah, let's just move on from it.
That's also another, a place. I hate this.
I think she's just kind of like aloof sometimes to things.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Another couple news, Shakira and Lewis Hamilton. On Saturday, the Colombian superstar attended the F1 Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, España, where Hamilton drove for Mercedes, of course, and came in second place. Boo.
Second place?
Yeah.
What?
It's all about Max right now, I think.
Oh, there's somebody new? Yeah. Barely on season 1.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Episode 1.
Yes, it gets good. There's a big shift coming towards you. Okay. And they also hung out with she also hung out with the British race car driver, not race car, just a racing driver afterwards. Shakira, who is 46, was spotted paying close attention to the race while watching for audiences as Hamilton, 38, competed.
They're like a 10-year age gap between them.
Wow, she looks good.
No, Shakira's amazing. But this isn't the first time we've seen them spotted together. So they were spotted Miami. On a boat a month ago.
It went after they came from Miami, which there's like this thing resurfacing that so they get pre-interviewed like leading up the weekend of the races. And someone asked him out, I don't even know what they asked him, but his response was like, I guess I need to find me a Latina. And first of all, I was just like, I'm right here, Lewis Hamilton. But then I guess he's just dating Shakira.
He's gonna go for Shakira. I mean, it's Shakira.
I know it's Shakira. Like, I don't blame him. And I love that she went to the Spanish race because it's like
Barcelona.
It's like Spain is her ex's turf. And not only is she getting there, not only is she there to see her new man, she's getting all the attention, and she gets to rub it in like his face. We love to see that.
Pique.
So, the last one, I don't know if I'm sad. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. So, Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy are shaking it off when it comes to their relationship. The singers have broken up. TMZ has learned, according to a friend close to the situation, Taylor is in fact single again, although it's still unclear exactly why they split.
We'll get more into the rumors that I have heard. I saw a whole Dumois post, but really quickly, Taylor's friends plural, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, their rekindling is no longer kindling. They have apparently broken up. I had sent Yost a TikTok of pictures of her holding hands with another guy, and I was so confused. I'm like, this has to be a different timeline. it looked like she was having a really heated conversation with Sean on the steps of a New York like place.
And like 2 days later.
Yeah, and then 2 days later, apparently she was holding some guy's hand. So they are no longer together, which I'm kind of surprised at. Kind of not. I don't know. I feel like this is obviously going to be the last time they're probably together again. So
I think so.
Because it's just like, if it didn't work.
I think it didn't work. Like, it's Sean, I'm sorry. Because, you know, he's the one that's heartbroken right now.
Most likely. Like, she looked kind of like annoyed
like, let's
in
have
those
fun.
photos.
She looked like, let's have fun. Let's see where we go. Like, let's keep it light. And when you have that kind of history with someone, light turns heavy very quickly. And I think that's what happened. This is just my assumption. But, yeah.
Yeah, so they're over. And apparently Bill Murray and Khalees, the milkshake singer, are starting to hit it off and date a little bit. So that's pretty random. But yeah, let's get into our Taylor latest news. Celine has basically already kicked it off with
the breakup
that has been heard around the world.
So we kind of, had speculations about what would happen with their relationship after the emergence or whatever of those comments of him, the Ice Spice thing. Then I believe it was 2 weeks ago where he is at a concert and he kisses a security guard, and we had noticed that
he hadn't been going. Well, he's been still touring and stuff.
Yeah, he had been touring, but he actually stopped kissing people, because he does this for a specific song. He would pick random people in the audience to kiss during. He had stopped kissing people like in February or March, and people were like, what is it? So that's when people were kind of now associating, like, that's probably when he started talking to Taylor, and Taylor's like, you need to keep your lips to me.
Yeah, like, why would I want to kiss like every person?
And then you see him kiss someone and they're like, oh snap, that means it's over. And now these rumors of people like saying like, yeah, they are over. However, they're saying like, oh, like she listened to her fans that were upset with his comments. A lot of people are like, no,
I doubt it.
It just was a fling. It was just having fun, a rebound. They found out that they're really not compatible. Taylor Swift is in her era of not really caring what people even think about her. So their thoughts on her partner are no longer going to be influencing her.
That's what Dubois said, is that somebody messaged them basically saying that she's enjoying, being on the tour. She's enjoying doing the re-releases, that she is in a no F's given kind of mood, and that it was different with her relationship with Maddie. Like, he was a bad boy, but in a nice way. It was nothing compared to Calvin Harris, like, in him being an asshole.
I do believe so. I really do think that, like, I'm not defending anything Maddie Healy has said, but I think he was
probably sweeter to her.
Yes, I think it's like those artsy people that are probably like weird and like to the outside people, but once they love you, it's like they love you.
Yeah, and that Aldwin was kind of arrogant towards the end of their relationship. And so,
I mean, you have to be arrogant if you're going to cheat.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable and cocky for that. But, yeah.
I'm happy to see her in her moment.
I hope we see her with someone else, because it's getting, like, 1989
is.
Vibes.
But, all of those counter things say that she is doing this to obviously put the attention on her and not on Miss Olivia Rodrigo, as she's set to release her new music, which is Olivia's like her biggest competition in the game right now. So if your name is out there enough, obviously, if people are talking about you around the clock, your name stays in circulation. Like
that song, Something New, that she sings with Phoebe Bridgers, like that should have been Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Like that is.
And I saw another Dumas post basically addressing the whole Sabrina Carpenter being chosen as the to tour with Taylor in Mexico. That her relationship with Olivia is like, they're not friends, but they don't hate each other. That Olivia allegedly is just hurt that Taylor didn't take her under her wing like she did with so many other people. But obviously that whole thing with the whole music rights just did
and
not.
Then I didn't know that Taylor was the one who brought in Paramore too.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, awkward. So speaking of Taylor, let's talk about, as you mentioned, she announced that after wrapping her U.S. dates in Los Angeles on August 9th, I'm going to be there August 8th. Swift will head to Mexico City for 3 straight shows at Foro Sol starting August 24th. She'll then stop to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and both of Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo and Brazil in November. Not only that, but we got the track list of the Speak Now Taylor's version, where it is unveiled that Hayley Williams and Fall Out Boy will be featured on some of her Vault tracks, and I am so excited.
I thought it was so cute that she was like, I wanted to bring in people that really influenced me at the time that I was releasing this album, because what screams more about the early 2000s, 2010s than Paramore and Fall Out Boy?
And that's a reason why she also invited, what's his name? Brandon Urie from, that's not Fall Out Boy, I'm sorry. Well, okay. That's Panic at the Disco. This is why I made the connection. Brandon Urie is friends with Taylor Swift, and when they got together, he invited her to dinner with Fall Out Boy, Pete Wentz, right?
Oh, Wentz, yeah.
Wentz, to dinner, and she's like, I was geeking out because I had so much they had so much influence on my writing and how catchy and whatever she said. So like knowing that is such an era. And then Hayley recently posted a picture of Taylor from like the 2000s when they were rollerblading at her like 21st birthday, saying like, you were my first friend out of the industry, and like we're basically like lifelong friends. And I'm just so excited. Rumor has it, another person she became friends with during that era was Emma Stone. People are saying that Vault song named When Emma Falls in Love or Fell in Love, I don't know what tense is, it might be about Emma Stone.
Oh,
which would be cute. When she started Spider-Man.
That's interesting.
So is it when she fell in love with Andrew Garfield?
Probably.
I will die.
I would say like for Emma Stone, one of her major loves was probably Andrew Garfield.
Oh, I could write a whole like thesis on that.
You can write a whole song like Taylor Swift did.
Because you know the song, what is it? This Is Love?
From 1989?
Yes. What's it called? The one that was on...
This Love Is...
That one is about Lena Dunham and Jack Antonoff's relationship.
That's still a relationship I can't even picture.
And if she could write that beautiful song from a very questionable relationship,
I'm just so excited to like finally listen to this album in its entirety.
So if you guys don't know,
heard it.
Brenda hasn't listened to Speak Now completely because she was off the Swiftie wagon when it was first released. So when she got back onto it, she just didn't look back, and then we went into the whole ownership of the songs. And now that she's a full-fledged Swiftie, she refuses to go back and listen to Speak Now until Taylor's version is out. And I respect you for that, because I haven't been able to do that, because Speak Now is...
I have obviously heard like the major songs,
like Enchanted,
because obviously Spotify throws it in there sometimes, but no, I try to avoid them as much as I can. So I'm excited to hear its entirety.
It's gonna be a new, like completely a new album.
I feel like I'm gonna obviously like have it's like a new album for me to enjoy. I'm excited. Woohoo.
So jealous. But I think that's it from Taylor Swift. There's just, I guess, the Taylor Swift connection though. The Summer I Turned Pretty season 2 came out with the teaser, and season 1 was very heavy on Taylor Swift songs. Their teaser has August as their song. So that just makes me think that more Taylor Swift songs are going to be on the soundtrack for this show. Have you seen season 1?
What show is that?
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I've never heard of that before.
Sorry. Brenda, the fact that you don't even know what I'm talking about, I'm so jealous of you, because I wish I could go back in time and rewatch it.
What?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
And it is a book. It's a book series. I didn't read the books, but it's about a girl and a high school. It's like coming of age, first love kind of thing. She has a family tradition that her mom and her mom's best friend go for like the summer to a rental, a beautiful beach, and every year she's been doing that, but this year, she's a little older.
Meets a guy.
The mom, the two boys she grew up with are a little bit more handsome this year. She's a little bit prettier, and it's like she falls in love for the first time, and she has many love interests. It's the summer she turned pretty kind of thing, and season 2 is gonna come out. You need to watch it.
When is season 2 coming out?
July something.
Okay, so
Amazon, you're welcome, because I will
free
preach.
Promos here.
I will preach for you. Yes.
I need to get more into Amazon shows.
There's a couple, but this one is like, This Is Us. Even though I feel like I related a little bit more to the mom's relationship, because I'm probably closer to their age than I am to a 16-year-old. But it goes back to, like, if you like reading those young, is it young?
Makes you feel young again.
Yeah, the young authors or young.
Yeah.
The love stories.
Yeah.
So they're
stuff that you
super
would
cute.
read when you were younger. And then so they just have Taylor Swift music playing.
So yeah, they actually had. She gave them Wildest Dream. You know how it came out.
Yeah, that's true.
So they got it. Love, This Is Love. I don't remember the song title.
And then they're August, and she's doing one specific for August.
She gave them 2 songs that weren't out yet in her versions, and they were able to use it. And those are like the 2 singles that from 1989.
So then she's been working on 1989.
She has it. She definitely has it.
I'm sure she recorded all of them and was like, all right, let's just figure out when we're going to put them out. And like, let me work on the Volt songs.
I think Volt, or if you needed like a feature, like,
yeah.
Kendrick Lamar was singing for...
Like, I'm pretty sure she recorded all of the already established songs and then just got, for the ones that she was like, oh, I want this person to work with me. Let's work on that.
Yes, I think so. But I'm excited. No, I can't. I'm so honored that I am the one to present to you the song where I
literally
Turned Pretty.
had never heard about this.
I'll show you the trailer after, and you'll be like, oh my God. It's very us. Very us. Okay.
All right, and that's
her weekly Taylor recap.
That's the Taylor wrap up. And then our last topic is, of course, about
Elliot Page
and the new memoir that's out there.
Yes, Elliot Page is set to come out with his memoir, and it follows. It's called Page Boy. We all know Elliot Page from Juno and his very open and real conversation from transitioning, and we're getting a lot of revelations. As we said, these are just snippets from the book, so it's not out completely yet. So we want to just go over some of the headlines that it's been making, and I think I just have there's more than 3, but I'm going to talk about the 3 that really stood out to me, which has been the love that he, I guess, love or relationships that he's been in throughout his career.
Years.
The big first one that kind of made headlines was his relationship with Kate Mara, who is an actress as well, and she was in a relationship with a man during that time. Kate Mara was in a relationship during that man, and Elliot had not transitioned yet. So pre-transition. So he was in a very, I would say, intense relationship with a woman who was in another relationship. And the way he kind of quotes it was that she was very like, I'm in love with 2 people.
She was dating Max Minghella, the guy who was actually dating Elle Fanning for a while too.
They're not together anymore?
They're not together anymore. Oh,
good, because he was a little too old for her.
Yeah, super but
and Kate Mara is no longer with the guy she was with. I'm not familiar.
She's married with... that guy, I forgot his name, but
kids.
he used to be married to, I forgot her name. But yeah, she is Rooney Mara's younger sister. Kate Mara and Rooney Mara are their own kind of. They don't need to rely on each other's names. Like they are great actresses on their own.
I find it interesting when this little snippet of how he had this sexual relationship with Kate Mara. Well, Kate Mara was in a relationship with a man.
And that he was okay with it.
He was okay with it. But it was a very confusing time for him because he was not out yet. So it was a very secretive And I bet you...
It felt very Evelyn Hugo.
It felt very Evelyn Hugo. However, we were talking about, like, I wonder if Kate Mara gave the okay.
So I read that Kate Mara had already read the pages and that she's going to go to one of the stops that Elliot is stopping at for book tour. Mm-hmm. So
she okayed it. That to be included.
Which is great because, like, I guess, you know, this is the first time we've heard of her being possibly bi, and the fact that she's just like, yeah, go for it.
And this is before Elliot, if you know it, Elliot, formerly known as Ellen Page came out as gay and then transitioned to Elliot Page. Yeah. And that's kind of the story we kind of all knew, but we never really knew all the secret relationships that he went through before even coming out as gay in the beginning.
And even just, like, you know, once again, like, man, to be a child actor, good Lord, like, everything that you have to deal with.
Not that transitioning is easy at all, but, like, you have to make that decision publicly.
Like, imagine, like, yeah, in your head, you feel like you're one person and you're getting constantly hit on by creepy older dudes. Yeah. And you don't even like them. And you don't even like men to begin with at all. So it's just such a compounding, confusing time.
The other snippet, which it was... So the Star writes that he was taken aback the moment he saw Juno co-star Olivia Thirlby, who he later formed a relationship with. So if you've seen Juno, it's the best friend Juno had, and they had a pretty intimate relationship.
They had great chemistry on camera.
Now we know.
We know that they had great chemistry behind the scenes.
But I believe it was the first... I was reading a little bit. It was the first time he writes that he was in a consensual adult relationship where the intimacy and he felt just like it was a great relationship, like comfortable, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoyed his time.
And she, Olivia, ended up coming out bi later on, but she's now married, I believe.
To a man, I believe.
Yeah, who's, I think, a director or producer or something.
Yeah, I think I read it too. But yeah, and then the last part, which I'm just like... so annoyed by, was in a chapter titled Famous Asshole at Party. Page describes being at a birthday party in Los Angeles in 2014. An actor whom Page described as an acquaintance told Page that you aren't gay. That doesn't exist. You are just afraid of men. He then told Page, I'm going to F you to make you realize you aren't gay. They saw each other at the gym a few times later. The actor said, I don't have a problem with gay people, I swear. There's lots of rumors swirling of who it is, and I don't want to, like, accuse this man, but a lot of people, or I don't know why, but they just assume it's our least favorite Chris. I'll just...
if you get make a poll about it.
I know.
Chris. Yeah, I mean... I don't know who else it could be.
It's a little scary to know that in 2014 people were still saying...
those kinds of comments,
like, gay
absolutely.
people isn't a real... like, being gay is not a real thing.
Yeah, it could be him. I don't know. I don't know who it could be. She very much did not give a whole lot of names, which is, like, fair. I mean, I feel like you have to, like, get permission.
Yeah, like, making those kind of accusations, he has to tread.
But they've kind of had issues before, I think, where I think it was the time where his name was in the headlines because of that whole church that was kind of being...
yes. Elliot came out saying
that you went to the church, that makes you anti-LGBTQ.
Specifically, the church he goes to is
anti-LGBTQ,
and then he responded to
saying,
Elliot,
like, I don't go there.
Yeah.
So that might be the connection.
No, I don't think he said I don't go there. I think he was just like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Because I know he goes there.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's an interesting read. I always say this, that it's very interesting for me to for memoirs to be written by someone so young.
Yeah.
Because I think
but honestly, like, child actors
go through a whole lifetime. That's the other thing. Like, how can I blame them? They already went through a whole lifetime. But I also think that in, like, in their late age, they would be willing to more
stuff to talk
not
about.
only more stuff to talk about, but feel even more comfortable to
divulge
more information. Like maybe we can
like Evelyn and Hugo did.
Yes,
I don't know why I just keep comparing everything.
But yeah, that's kind of a recap of the headlines for the week, and now our big recap, and we all know what
it's over, guys. Finally, Scandival has kind of
come to
the dust is settling on Scandival. We did see the reunion part 3 where we finally had Rachel come out, sneak out little Bambi so she could be grilled by the whole cast.
I have a question. That whole setup of it ends in the second part where Schwartz is taking his Xanax and like doing that whole do you think it's on purpose to distract that she's coming out?
I think Schwartz is just like
can't read
now
the
that
room.
I watch the whole series back, damn, Schwartz is just ridiculous. Him and Tom have just always been in love with each other. They're gonna go down with each other because they're just so shitty. They're both super shitty people. Schwartz deserves it just as bad because he's known about it this whole time. I think he's anxious because he knows he was a part of the lie.
And even if he wasn't, which I think he was, he knows that people are going to hate Tom. And with that comes taking him down, which comes with his business that he is attached to. So that moment,
he lost his wife over it. Like, you lost your wife over this damn place with your shitty ass friend. And look at what you all got. You reap what you sow at this point.
So what's your reaction to, as a whole, like Rachel in the...
I was honestly just distraught by her behavior the whole time. Like, doesn't shed a tear in front of Ariana. Like, in the prior, the 2 episodes, her reactions in the background as she's watching from the trailer, because she can't obviously be there because of the restraining order. She just isn't fazed. Like, when Sheena, her best friend, is crying about, she doesn't shed a single tear, doesn't care. And I don't know if you did you watch the whole episode after all? Okay, so when Rachel was done with her segment, because they bring Sheena back or something, her and Tom go back to her dressing room, and then they just start laughing about the whole thing.
I didn't know that.
They're basically like, can you believe that? Because James, before she left the stage, was basically saying that Allie, his current girlfriend, is an upgrade compared to Rachel. And her whole thing was, can you believe James's comment about Allie being better than me?
Like, 100%.
How is this what you're talking about? You just saw Ariana for the first time since you hooked up with her boyfriend, and your thing is over whether somebody looks better than you or not. And you're laughing. The audacity of this woman. She's not human.
So it's just so... I just don't know her reaction to everything. Like, okay, even though, say she is in love and doesn't regret it because she found the love of her life, you still have to have some empathy of like, wow, I did hurt people to gain what it is.
Or Sheena, friend.
Sheena's whole explanation about, having panic attacks and her daughter seeing her. It's like, how can you not at least make a facial expression of like, I'm uncomfortable, like this does kind of hurt. It's just like this stoic face, and then they call her out about like crying over the pageant things and not this, and it's just, and then the Lala thing, like, you need to get mentally evaluated, and she's like, I am getting mentally evaluated. And then I don't know what part it was where Ariana was you're like from the Harry Potter thing. She's like, I know you're like
Dementor. I know you like Harry Potter.
But
even so Andy obviously addresses the super uncomfortable scene where Rachel approaches Ariana about her intimate relationship with Tom. Even Lisa was like, that was the most crazy thing I've ever seen. Like, that was so diabolical. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
There's a difference between, if not that, you're the mistress, but for you to like, I don't know, like, as a mistress, I feel like you have to have, as a human, you have to have some empathy of like, I'm screwing this person over, my best friend or one of my best friends, she doesn't know it. I would just want to put distance between us just because it would be so like, weird to see your face and knowing that I'm sleeping with your boyfriend, just internally, because at this point no one knows. But the fact that she's going out of her way to like get her to open up and get her to like share intimate information about the relationship while you are sleeping, like, that is diabolical. That is so like, it takes it to another level. There's one difference of like an affair, like he slept with a stranger, but this is someone in your inner circle who continued to be in your inner circle, who continued to work toward being closer to you and wanted information you. And it is just like so crazy to me. Like, I think if Rachel was like a normal human being, I think she'd try to separate herself from Ariana, because you don't want slip ups.
How is that not uncomfortable?
You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to like, there has to be something that's eating you up inside at the end of the day, even though you will continue to do it because you think you found the love of your life. Like, how is something not weighing down on you?
So in those last 5 minutes of all those shocking revelations that we were going to die over, which I'm going to tell you now, it was just like, so like, really? This is so underwhelming, because I would have already assumed this happened. Like, my mind wasn't blown. She said that she asked Tom whether Ariana would want to be in a throuple.
Yeah.
And Tom was like, that's not how Ariana rolls. I think in her mind, she's like, well, she even said it. I love Ariana as a person. I just was like, and obviously Tom, but like,
I think she loved Ariana and whatever Tom, she loved the idea of what Ariana and Tom had.
Yeah.
It was just in her benefit or a coincidence that Tom was looking to, dip outside and she was the victim of it. But the fact that she wanted to be in a throuple should also, like, Tom, it wasn't you, honey. Yeah. It was the idea of the relationship Ariana was carrying on her back. Yeah. That's what she loved. She loved this image of a good relationship that was being sustained by Ariana. So she was maybe, like, that's even more, like, dangerous, because this woman was obsessed or had this...
she's psycho.
What was...
fatal attraction.
She was... what is the word I'm looking for?
Putting the bunny
when you're not in love with someone, infatuated with Ariana and Tom's relationship. So for her, whether she was in a throuple or she got Ariana or she got Tom, she just wanted to be part of that mix. And it was just Tom, the idiot, who was like, I'm going to get this young girl. And it just...
the bunny boiler.
And it was just a lot. And of course, now we know that horrible comment Tom made,
God, Tom, the audacity. Sandoval.
Shorts' reaction was his bank account dwindling. The way Shorts just folded over when he made that comment, it's like, dude, you're costing us money. You're a liability.
Saw your business flash before your eyes.
Who says that? First of all, Ariana's hot. Like, yeah. I don't care.
So the comment that Tom made, well, basically, they're kind of going over the fact of, like, if Tom has slept with other people. Ariana mentioned somebody from Chicago, and she was like, you've also slept with me since sleeping with Rachel. And his comment was, well, when we had sex, you would wear a shirt. We slept together with your shirt on, real hot. Like, what is wrong? So he's already made annoying comments. The comments about how I always stock up with the batteries and the toilet paper. Man, Ariana is getting her bag. Have you seen that new Duracell commercial? Man, she knows marketing. Yeah, she knows timing. Like, whoever is in charge of her whole thing, it's like, you all are banging it out.
Because whose idea was that? Because we hadn't seen it. No one has seen it before. And whose idea was like, hey, we're going to edit this in. We're going to leave out the battery thing, or leave in the battery thing, and we're going to leave in the comment about the t-shirt. So the fact that she's like, this is going to be the moment in the show, the peak moment of the show. Let me get t-shirts ready. Let me make a Duracell commercial. Because they
recorded it like 3 weeks ago, or months ago, so they already know what to expect. But they lined it all up perfectly, and the marketing of it all was just amazing. And now let's kind of get into that big revelation. So in like literally the final minute of the episode, the big thing was that Rachel and Tom had sex in her home, the whole hot tub night that Tom's the whole thing with Ken, that they in fact did sleep together, and that was the night that Ariana had gone for her funeral, her grandma's funeral. Mm-hmm. So they did sleep together, which was not a surprise. I'm like, is this supposed to be new information? Mm-hmm. Like, am I supposed to be shocked?
Yeah, it's just like they said no during the whole time, but
nobody believed them.
They're liars. Why would we believe them?
Exactly. Tom kept saying, it's only been one time, guys. It's only been one time. It's only been one time. And you hear James make a comment to Lala, like, why does he keep saying it only happened once? They've been sleeping together.
Yeah, because you don't... If you're having an affair, you don't do it.
Like, nobody would be making this big of a deal if it was one time.
Do you think it's the fact of they slept once, they claim that they slept once, and they just like, they're like, never again, don't talk to me, no nothing, and then they started back up because their attraction was just so undeniable? Do you think they're just saying that?
No, I think that once they did it once,
it just never stopped.
I don't think it ever stopped. I don't
think so either. Like
this has been a full-fledged, and even if it wasn't physical the whole time, the amount of emotional,
yes,
and they did. Rachel did confirm that lightning bolt necklace was in fact a way for them to be close. It meant something to each other because she said it meant that she kept saying that he was the lightning bolt in her life at that time. So that was a
lightning
metaphor
in their life. Fire. Okay,
their life is now fire, basically.
That's ridiculous.
But it's so insane. She is like psycho. She is psycho.
Like you're telling me you guys weren't physical? Please, you guys aren't that intelligent to hold a conversation. Like, it got physical. Like, you guys weren't having
1000%.
conversations.
Like,
you're telling me you guys had deep conversations that lasted hours, and you're like, you know what? We're not sleeping together. I had enough. Like, no, I'm satisfied with conversation. People like Tom and Rachel aren't satisfied with emotional and conversational
Tom
connections.
has always been a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Tom has been cheating on Kristen, Ariana.
And I was looking back at videos. Ariana was like ride or die for him.
Oh, she was. It's so frustrating, honestly, to see how defensive she is over him. Like, watching these seasons, I'm like, girl, just you wait. Your life is going to be turned upside down over this guy who's literally a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he has always been a piece of shit, but
the women around him have
always like supported him, and Tom Shorts has always supported him.
Did you see that video of him in the airport?
No,
someone said that they saw him at the airport this weekend, and he looks so disheveled. Like with, I think you need to look at the video.
He's no longer the number one guy, and that's for all my VPR fans. He's no longer the number one guy, as he once thought he was.
Never.
But I'm so confused because this whole revelation was supposed to be so shocking that they didn't know if production was going to continue on the show. I'm like, I feel like this was so known. I don't understand why nobody would come back. I mean,
well, Ariana did say, I saw it on the clips, that she's like, I don't ever want to see or speak to you.
Yeah, like there's ways to shoot without each other.
Yeah, it's just too different.
But she's obviously having her moment. She landed a cover on Glamour. Is it Glamour? I sent you
Glamour or L.
Let me see really quickly. Oh, we have 6 more minutes. Oh, I just saw this picture. Kendall and Bad Bunny stepping out for brunch date in coordinated casual outfits. I thought they broke up, but I guess they didn't.
Oh, there you have it. Breaking news.
Okay, it's Glamour. Yes. So she does an interview with Glamour. Apparently they're calling it an in-depth conversation, but I'm like, we already know everything. Yeah. I've listened to practically every podcast about this topic. I don't really think there's too much more into this whole thing. I think that might be, I think Scandival might be dying down now because of,
yes, I think everyone's just sick of it,
kind of over it. Yeah,
like we now want to know what's next. Are people gonna want to record with each other? Are people gonna talk to, because they're all gonna oust Tom and Raquel, because even during the lunch, in a behind the scenes clip when they go for lunch and it's the break between the Sheena and Raquel switch, they're all eating, which is Lala, Ariana, Sheena, and James. And
they are not
Katie. I always forget Katie. Katie was like, so what's the deal? Like, you're coming in, she's coming out, and Sheena's like, yeah, I have to leave, and she has to come back. And Katie's like, you're coming back, right, for the toast? And Ariana's like, if they do not bring Sheena back for the toast and keep Raquel, like, we're all walking out.
Yeah.
So even the fact when they're like short, scoot over seats, Ariana's like, nope, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to have me one step closer to this.
Like, there's no, and it's true. Like, why are you going to flaunt it in front of her like that? Like, no.
Yeah.
She needs to feel alone. I don't know if it's like, I don't want to see them together. I think it's more like, don't sit them together so they like feed off each other and like whisper rehearsals, you know?
And Rachel basically confirmed that Tom has been coaching her, being like, you can't tell everybody this information. Like, it's going to make it look worse. Like, we need to keep certain things to ourselves. Like,
she's so dumb.
She's
so dumb. Like,
so I'm watching season 5 right now, which is when they introduce Rachel, and like basically like lights are on, nobody's inside. It's just so vacant.
Yeah, still is.
She just has shorter hair. And that people were on TikTok were saying that the reason why Tom got super into Rachel was because she cut her hair short, and that when Ariana cut her hair short, that Tom was like obsessed with her. So hey, maybe he has a thing for short hair.
You know what? I was about to cut my hair, random. Not doing it.
I was actually. I'm just kidding, though. But yeah, guys, that's the notes on the scandal. Scandival is now over. So that's gonna take out that conversation from us. But yeah, guys, very soon our favorite Bachelorette is gonna start her season. It's gonna be. Sorry, let me erase this music. We're obviously going to be going over it. You know, maybe next week we'll kind of talk about the men that are going to be appearing on the
suitors
show.
For charity.
Yeah, and reminder, guys.
Yes. For our book club, we are reading June's book. It is called Romantic Comedy, a novel, and it's pretty good.
Pretty good so far. Yeah. Feels very much like SNL life behind the scenes. So. We'll see what's up with that, but
be sure to follow us on Instagram, Pop Off the Clock. You'll find the link there to watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.